this is Mike Compton coming to you from the D'Addario Artist Lounge. I'm going to give you a little bit of information on how to play the old-time Bill Monroe style, first-generation bluegrass music. It has a very specific right-hand technique in that you hold the pick up on the top of your index finger, thumb down this way, and it's not a very tight grip. You drive from your wrist, and it flops back and forth a little bit like that. If you've never done it that way, it takes some getting used to, and you might feel your pick spinning around in your fingers. But it's something that goes away over time if you get used to it. Hand floats, and you just kind of push through the string. It's not a picky motion this way. It's just push through as you were rubbing across the string. And on the way back up, same thing. The weight of it bears up, down on the pick, and the pick flops downward. The idea is to get this so smooth so that you can make both the down and the upstroke sound even. In the old-time bluegrass, we're emulating fiddle players. So you want to get to where you can play a really long, sustained note that emulates a long tone. And then add some more strings to it. It can be one string, it can be two strings, it can be all. It's done with the same wrist. You hear that sounds more like a long tone than it does a lot of short notes glued together. The whole style is based basically around an alternating stroke, down, up, down, up, down, up. It's where all of your rhythmic devices come in, say easy things like bow stroke sounds, this is kind of thing. This is more like a triplet, tremolo, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, or it could just be straight 4/4 time, accent on the first note, or it can be on the offbeat. You hear the difference. Let me give you an example where the beat is. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. You change it. 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Could be each downstroke. 1. There's lots of ways to mix it up, but basically that's your built-in rhythm for your solo lines. You can really hear it playing, and it drives the song along. It gives you a good idea about where the beat is, what the groove is. Now, on the left hand, it's primarily built out of chord forms. Chord shape could be double stops, mainly, I suppose, because of the fiddle tradition that it's based around. Usually, the melody notes are found out of chord positions. You could start in the first position, say just something simple in G. A lot of people say, where can I find the notes? Well, I'll just show you. If you take your middle finger and put it on the 4th fret, I mean, that's the 3rd tone in the scale of G. 1, 2, 3, up to there. Okay. The next tone in the triad, which would be a 1, 3, or a 5 in the scale, 2, 3, 4, 5. So you've got an open D. So there is a 2-tone G. It's not a double stop because I don't have 2 fingers down, but there's a 2-note G chord. The next one up would be on the G note at the 5th fret. So I've only changed one note. Now I have a 2-finger G chord right there. Okay, we're going through up the scale, only moving 1 finger at a time. So we start with the G note here. There's your 3rd again. So that's the next one. You hear how the chord voicings sound different from one another. Okay, go on up. All right, there's the 5th again. So it could be the 2 in the middle, the G and the 5, and the D. Right there. I don't tend to use that one because it's a little tougher to use, and I don't really think it's that pretty, but feel free to use it if you want. Okay, The next one up, fifth. Now there's your root again. That's what's really considered by some people as the power chord on mandolin. And if you've ever heard Bill Monroe play bluegrass twist, you've heard this a lot. So there's a lot you can do with it, and you can get really loud with that one. It's really easy. Go on up the scale, root, there's the third again. You can see these tones repeat, and so do the positions. Once I get up to this point, I'm out of fingers, and I have to shift up. To me, this is the part that's really the most like the fiddle and unique to this style. Once I get to this point, I have to shift up to another position because there's no place else I can go from here. So I would have to shift probably up to here. And if you notice, these positions are started to repeat. There's one there. And if you keep going up the neck, then they go on and up. So this is root, third, that's the fifth, root, third, fifth, root, third. Okay. Now, it's not just chord tones. You can make a solo out of this and add a little blues on the way back down. Mr. Monroe has got a solo on one of his albums where he has done exactly that. Slide into the third, slide into the third. All right. And so on. You can do this through any of the chord positions, any key. Monroe didn't necessarily take into consideration that some of the open strings were not in that key. You maybe move this whole thing up to B and play it this way. Well, that takes a lot of listening to before it starts to sound like it's okay. You can use this technique in other keys as well. It doesn't have to just be G. Now the tune that I played in the beginning, which is Methodist Preacher, if you go back and look at it again, you'll notice that pretty much what I used the whole time was this idea, playing chord tones over the G chop chord with a few connecting lines. Look here. That's right in your chord box right there. You can find all your melody notes right there. And so on.